Mr. Transformers 96 here with another video. I'm going to be talking about some newly shown items at San Diego Comic-Con 2019. In this video, I'm going to be talking about the Marvel Hot Toys figures. So now I did a kind of a preview video earlier today on this subject where I talked about some of the figures that we were starting to be seen, and the picture qualities were just kind of okay. Now we have some good HD photographs provided by ToyArk of the event, and we get a better idea and a look at what's there. So I'm just going to be talking about that. I'm going to be talking about all of the figures from Marvel that are new, at least in some capacity. Let's get into it because there's actually a lot of figures here. But starting off with just kind of this figure that was revealed right before the event, we had the battle damaged Iron Man from the Endgame film. Obviously kind of almost like a last moment Iron Man figure. This figure looks great. I really love it. I did not plan to get the Endgame armor. I totally decided not to. This looks so fantastic, and I think it's an absolute must-have for me. It's kind of exactly what I want, and I feel like this is going to be like one of the biggest Hot Toys figures in a long time, to be quite honest. I feel like this is going to be a must-have for everyone, and I think that the price is going to shoot up after it's released too. But it looks wonderful, really does. Love the battle damage look. The head sculpt I think is really nice. The hand looks great. It's super cool. The lights look good on it. He comes with a lot of neat accessories as well. He's got specifically a snapping hand, which is super cool. My only disappointment is seeing it in person that the base is much smaller than I expected. I expected the base to be big enough to have him on his knees, you know, for the final scene. But it looks like you don't really get enough of the base to do that, which is disappointing. I have the Mark 43, so I think that his base would work perfectly for this figure, to be honest. But this is, again, like one that I had no expectations to get, and I think I'm going to get that. It just looks so good. Then we have Endgame Cap, which we've seen a million times, so nothing really new to talk about there. Next, we have Hulk. This is obviously kind of the Professor Hulk, Smart Hulk, whatever you want to call it. Looking good. Like I mentioned, some of the head sculpts on display don't look great. However, the sculptor on this head sculpt did release a photograph of his kind of work in progress on it, and it looked perfect. It looked really good. So I feel like a lot of it might just be the Toy Fair lighting. So, you know, I think that in person it might look a little bit better than this. But overall, I think this looks like a nice figure. I mentioned before in my video earlier today that the sleeve created like a really bad crease. Now with the extra lighting on this, I think it's actually lighting up some of this shading, and therefore it's making the crease not look as bad as it did in some of the other photographs. But I still think that that's going to be an issue, possibly the folds in the suit based on how you have them posed. But I really do like the gauntlet and him in the snapping motion too. I think that's really cool. But as you can see, he comes with an interchangeable hand for the gauntlet, an iPad, and then the glasses. And I'm sure it'll come with a little bit more. Overall, looking like a nice figure. Not one that I need at all, though, to be honest. I liked this version of Hulk a lot, but just I don't really need a figure for him. Next, we have the Iron Patriot, which I think looks like a great figure. As you can see, he does come with one of those larger, almost diamond-shaped type of bases. Looking like a great figure, though. The paint looks awesome. Really love the bulk to him. I'll be interested to see if he's like totally die-cast or if he is going to be plastic. I would hope he's plastic just because of how bulky he is, but knowing Hot Toys, I'm pretty sure they're going to make him die-cast. Again, this is one that I really like, but I don't see myself buying it. I just don't need it. But I do really like the look of it. I think it does have a fantastic look. Let's see a rocket there. Then we have Captain Marvel, but we have seen it. But we do have a couple new Captain Marvel figures to talk about. Same with Nebula. Seen it. Yep, seen it all. A lot of Endgame stuff here. I'm a little disappointed in what was shown overall, to be honest. I'll talk a little bit more about what I would have liked to see at the end. But I'm shocked that the final battle Thor is not photographed here, considering they did a preview for him just a couple days ago for the event. So I would imagine he'll be bought out a little bit later, but it's a little odd for them not to have him out right away. And then Mysterio I thought was a done deal. You know, I wasn't sure if they were going to put him on pre-order, but I thought for sure he'd be at the event, and he's not, which is super disappointing. So I'm kind of hoping that maybe tomorrow they'll add a couple extra figures, being Thor and Mysterio, just to kind of keep their booth fresh, but we'll see. This is a surprising one. This is Captain America in his time travel suit, which is very cool. Not a surprise. However, what's the surprise is the whole kind of display that they have him in. This is the kind of time travel booth that he stands in to go back in time, and it obviously never comes back. it's not a super iconic moment in the movie. Like the moment that follows it, I would say is pretty iconic for that movie. But this actual him just standing up there and going back in time is not something that I think is really needed. I doubt that this will actually go on pre-order. I think Captain will, but I don't think that this whole contraption is going to go on pre-order. To be honest, it's something that I certainly wouldn't buy. I don't think many people would buy it. It's not something that's needed. It's like usually when Hot Toys does like a big piece, like an environment piece or a vehicle, it's a very important one that people would really like. This is not something that I think anybody would really need. I think it's cool to have, but for Hot Toys' price, I don't think anybody would really purchase that, to be honest. But it does look good. Captain looks good. Rescue, seen it. It's on pre-order. Next up, we have the Captain America from the first Avengers movie, but obviously his Endgame look. I'm very surprised with this figure, considering it almost looks like a complete just reissue of the original one that came out in 2012 with a new unmasked head sculpt. The unmasked head sculpt, I believe, is the same head sculpt that's coming with the new Captain America. However, the masked one looks like the old one, so I'm a little confused. This almost looks like it is just a pure re-release with a couple of new accessories, which is shocking to me. I'm surprised they didn't redesign it, but I have the original one and I'm very happy with it, so I certainly don't need this one. But anybody who missed out on the original one, this is nice, but it seems a little lazy that they didn't actually create a new one, that it's really just a reissue practically. A lot of stuff we've already seen. Good stuff, but stuff we've already seen. That's a nice pose for Wasp, I will say. Stark is on pre-order, the only time travel character on pre-order. Then we have a time travel War Machine. I think this is really cool. There is a banner that's on display at the moment that does kind of showcase their Endgame line. It doesn't seem to have everybody in the poster. However, what it does have is everybody in their time travel suit, which is interesting. I don't know if we'll actually get them all on pre-order, or maybe they'll do... What I could see them doing is like an Iron Man and a Captain America and a War Machine, because and then Rocket, because they have kind of unique looking time traveling suits, and then maybe they'll do a last one, which is a female body that comes with all the female head sculpts, and a male body that comes with all the male head sculpts, so you can kind of pick. But this overall looks like a nice War Machine figure. However, there's so many good War Machine figures coming out from this line. Like, they've got the regular version and the Iron Patriot version, that I don't know how many people are going to need this one unless they are absolutely going to want to build a time travel team. This one's not super necessary, to be honest. I think that it's a good looking figure, but if I was going to buy War Machine from this movie, I'd go with the Iron Patriot, and if I didn't get that, I'd get the regular version of War Machine. I think this time travel suit just isn't like an iconic enough version of him to get, but it's cool looking. More stuff we've already seen. Next up, we have Mantis. Mantis this looks like a great figure, to be honest. Like, I have no issues with the figure. I think the face sculpt looks really good. The costume looks really nice. It's just a character that I certainly don't need, and I don't think many people are going to need. I mean, unless you are like a hardcore Guardians fan and you have every Guardians character in your collection, this is just not one that I think many people are going to need to have. So it's a nice one. And don't get me wrong, I like Mantis as a character, but she's not like a character that I love, that I would need a figure of. Like of the scale. So yeah, but overall I think the face sculpt does look really nice. The costume looks good. Got the Infinity War Machine, Gamora, Groot. Now this is interesting. I guess this is a new Drax figure, or at least it's kind of the Drax that they were showing for Guardians of the Galaxy 2, but now with an extra head sculpt of him yelling. I think the yelling head sculpt's neat. It looks a little odd how it's connected to his body. It almost looks like he has no neck. Maybe if they bulked up the jaw a little bit, it wouldn't look that weird, but it looks a little weird. However, I like Hot Toys with expression. It seems like I'm one of the few people that enjoys the expression on Hot Toys rather than the stoic looks. So I really like this. I think that it's neat, but who knows if that's ever going to actually get released. I'm a little confused on if it will or not. Then we have a lot of the other ones. Now this is just the weirdest thing I'd say at Comic-Con right now as far as Hot Toys is concerned. It doesn't make much sense. It's a Hulk, Deadpool, Venom, or I think it's actually just supposed to be it's a Venompool. So it's Venom and Hulk. Venom and Deadpool. It's from the game. It's cool looking. I don't know who's gonna want this. It's neat, but I don't know how many people would actually pay up for a Hot Toys version of this. This is the perfect thing for like Diamond Select to make. Even Marvel Legends. I think Diamond Select's perfect, but Marvel Legends would be good too. But to have a Hot Toys, like Hot Toys is like accuracy and it's cloth and it's detail. This is a really neat looking thing, but it's just huge. It's massive. It looks like you're going to tear the rubber. It looks like this entire thing is just one big rubber suit that's going to be torn and going to have wrinkles galore. It's so weird looking. He comes with a lot of cool accessories. It's something that I don't want in the slightest, to be honest. Like, it's cool, but beyond that, it's not worth it, in my opinion. And yeah, it's a weird thing that they showed. I'm sure this is going to be very expensive as well. I'll be interested to see how many of you would actually buy this. And I'm not saying how many of you would think it's cool looking, because it's certainly cool looking, but how many of you are actually interested in buying this? Because I just don't think that they're going to have a big audience for this one. But hey, it's neat. I like the purple highlighting a lot, actually, especially in the veins. I think it's cool. And it looks like he's wearing an actual costume. This looks like more of a statue than it does a figure. It's the weirdest thing I've seen from Hot Toys in quite a while, probably. I like that he comes with a massive phone, and he's getting a phone call. Weird, but cool. We've got some of the exclusive figures. Don't really care. They're just doing so many War Machines. I hate this whole like neon whatever it's supposed to be series. I think is stupid, to be quite honest. But that's just me. You might love it. All right, Mark 7's looking cool. All right, we've got some of the Captain Marvel figures, the Kree figures. We have Veers, or Captain Marvel in her Kree uniform. I think it looks like a really nice figure. Head sculpt looks okay. Doesn't look really Hot Toys quality to me. The head sculpt in the movie, or the face in the movie, looked a little just kind of computerish because there's not a whole lot of detail there. It's obviously just her mouth showing. She doesn't even have pupils. So I think the head sculpt that Hot Toys did is okay. It's nothing special, though. Definitely not a figure I get. I don't think there's many people that would buy that, to be honest. Then we have Yon Rogg. Again, another figure that I don't think many people are going to buy either, other than myself. Like, if they actually put this in on pre-order, I'll buy it because I'm a huge Marvel villain fan. I've purchased every single Hot Toys Marvel villain that they've done, at least one version of each character. So I'd definitely get Yon Rogg for my collection, but I just don't see many people wanting a Yon Rogg figure. Now, the figure itself looks great, though. I think it looks like it's really nicely done. The proportions look really good. The head sculpt actually looks really nice. It's one of the few head sculpts that, like, in person, on display at the event, it actually looks really good. And then we did actually get some more pictures from the sculptor of the head sculpt of his work in progress, and it just looks amazing. So I'm a big fan of the head sculpt. It will come with a helmet, because this figure was actually, although this is the first time we're seeing it for the most part, it was shown within a catalog for Hot Toys a couple of months ago, and in the catalog it did not show the Jude Law head sculpt, it showed the helmeted one. So he will come with two head sculpts, which I think is cool. I would never leave him with the helmeted one. I think the Jude Law one is just cooler, it's more impressive, it's a good actor, and it's how he looked for 98% of the movie. So I definitely think that this is the only version that's needed. The helmet isn't even needed, but I think it's neat that he comes with it. And overall, the figure does look great. So there you go. That's my thoughts on the figures shown at Comic-Con this year from Hot Toys. Hopefully or from Marvel, I will say specifically. Hopefully I'll be making another video talking about Thor and Mysterio and maybe a couple others like tomorrow or the next day. But for now, this is all that they showed. They showed an okay amount of stuff. Nothing that blew me away, to be honest. I think that a lot of it is just okay. A lot of it's already stuff we've seen before, and then the new stuff is just kind of okay. I think Yon Rogg is the most exciting thing for me personally, but I think that that's something that nobody cares about. So I don't know. Like, again, I think that they missed the ball a little bit on some of the figures to be shown, and I'm shocked that we have not seen Mysterio. I expected them to at least show a prototype for Mysterio. But there you go. That's my thoughts. Let me know what you guys think of them, and thanks so much for watching.